No, I never met him, but I've heard of him.
He was like non-dual, and then
What happened?
he, as happens with a lot of these,
You went into awareness?
kind of, but worse.
Oh, really?
No, like a lot of the, they start like pure, when I hosted them, and then they have time.
So we're live.
I'm a name dropper, I just name drop.
Name drop.
Come on.
Yeah, they all started radical.
That's my point, and they waver off, but some go more off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all in the story, right? But like Matt Khan's doing tarot cards now.
Oh, really?
He started non-dual.
I don't know how the hell that
I mean,
happens, man.
I don't know. Anything could happen, right?
Apparently. They got a little spiritual karma. I never noticed that. The
Oh, what?
psychic and tarot cards right there.
Oh, the spiritual thing? There's a few of them. Like East 14th Mission.
So you got your name brand too.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Are the comments on? Yeah, they are.
Did?
Yeah. I couldn't even make it.
Yeah, my dad lives 5 minutes from here. Straight up the hill.
It's synchronistic, that's meant to be.
Yeah. I can talk my dad into coming.
You've been through the spiritual circuit like I
Oh,
have,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen, I mean, I feel funny talking because it's so out of context with what's truly going on. If I can put it that way, but it's all story. I can't talk in front of Zabi because I just feel like I'm always lying.
Well, me is a lie, right?
That's my point.
Me is a lie.
But it's all story. But you've been to groups, right? And then people who don't seem to in the story have a clue, right? There's ones that won't resonate more, and then there's others. They're like, they're like in the head and always just trying to.
Should we start?
And then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
they pop.
Yeah.
You've seen that, right? I've
Yeah.
seen that time and time
I've
again.
seen it, yeah.
And they're the most contracted. Sorry.
Hi, guys. What are you doing? Well, what are we doing? We're talking about non-duality. Non-duality. What does that mean? Not two. Not two. Not one, just not two. It's not a thing. It's not an object. There's no separation. There's no me and you. There's an appearance of two, but it's not real. There's not really someone inside here and then others inside each body. This doesn't see anybody. There's bodies in the room, but there's no one in them. There's just what's happening, this indescribable isness. Easy simplicity. Just what's arising. That's all there is whatever's arising. There's nothing outside of what's arising. Thought, memory, contraction, pain, it's all what's arising. Coffee mug, table, that is the absolute. There is only the absolute. Even the feeling that there's someone inside here looking out onto a world is the absolute. It's freedom. It's freedom. It's freedom appearing as not being free. There is only freedom. Hi, please give me a shout out. I'm your biggest fan. What's up, Lisa Jones? Shout out to Lisa Jones.
You're getting a follow. Just what you've always wanted.
It's clear that I don't hold these meetings. It's just what seems to happen. Room happening, talking happening, seeing happening. For that me energy, this is not enough. What's happening is not enough. There has to be something else. It's always waiting. It's a waiting energy. It's a needy energy. It's an energy that wants to hold on and maintain, an energy that wants to control. That's not real and that's not necessary. What's being illuminated is that energy that wants to control. It's not needed. That causes suffering, wanting to manage, put everything in boxes, order, control. That is the suffering of me. That is its existence. It feels like it has to. It feels like it's it feels like this needs to be put in order. This needs to be put right. Nothing needs to be put right. Nothing's out of place. It's clear that no one's saying these words. These words are just what's appearing from nothing, like everything else. It's just nothing. Nothing. Nothing, not as a thing. No thing. This is nothing. This is empty. This is spaciousness. This is aliveness. This is what's happening. There is only what's happening.
Zabi's on fire.
Oh, wow. Thank you. It's so funny. Oh, man.
It's remarkable. I once said it's remarkable to a speaker.
Yeah.
And he said, not even remarkable.
Not even.
That's still, it's kind of giving it some kind of meaning on some level.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's wrong, but
Yeah.
it's just this.
Hi. Can someone in the comments let me know if they can actually hear me okay? Because my phone's sitting on the table. Just give me a yeah or something. Oh, awesome. Thank you, living life already. I think I know who you are. I think I see something. Thank you, guys. Dead of the night. This is freedom. This is freedom. Even the experience of being not free is freedom appearing as that. You can't get away from what you're looking for. Me is not looking for this, but this is truly what's desired. What's longed for is what's happening. What's happening is the end of need. Me is the energy of need. Me is the energy of waiting. The illumination is that is not required. There's a draw to these meetings, apparently, because something recognizes this. Excuse the words, it's not something, but can't get around saying that. But something hears this, which is not you. You will always make what's happening, what's being said, into something else, into what you would put it in your story as a path leading somewhere. This isn't going anywhere. This is not coming from anywhere. It's not going anywhere. There's no linear timeline. There's only this boundlessness, this absolute freedom. That's what's happening. Is words coming out saying that this is freedom. It's not freedom because this is saying this is freedom. This is not having an experience of freedom. There is only freedom. No, go ahead.
Even the dream character, here I go again, and I'm not even making a case for it, but I'm just making a statement. Even the dream character notices that there's something there, like, because it senses its sense of lack, even in the dream.
Yeah.
And so it notices, and so it's drawn.
Yeah.
You know, even in the dream, it's like, oh wait, you know.
Yeah. So that energy would also be like, but it would think that it's something for it. It does sense something like, but at the same time, it can't help but feel that it's going to be something for it. And when this says it's a loss, it feels like the loss is going to be a gain. It has to. It can't imagine loss. But even that loss in the end is not really a loss because nothing's had. Having something is knowing. Knowing, having a car, having a house, it's just knowing. And that knowing is a energy that's like held in the body, and that energy That's the having. That's having. Outside of that knowing, there is no such thing as having something.
Right.
How can you have it?
It's amazing, yeah.
No, there's no two. There's not a you and an object. There is no object. There's just seeing. There's not something inside seeing something outside. That is the illusion.
And even the body, that makes it more convincing because it feels like there's a body that's separate.
Well, the body's just body. You know, that sense of what you said, it's convincing. That's me. That is that energy of me feeling that it's here, like a position. That position is an illusion. There's no center. Me is the experience of being the center of the universe. You know, it's not a judgment, but that's just its experience, that everything's revolving around it. It's like collecting everything. Like it's in its dream world. You know, it's not real. What I'm saying is doesn't really happen. It apparently happens. It's nothing. It's nothing. You know, but it would never know that. I don't know that. It's kind of misleading sitting here and saying what this is saying. It makes it look like I know something or something happened to me.
It's just
You know,
like a complete unknown, everything.
Yeah.
Any concept or idea within the dream that you would think it is, it's not. That would be an add-on or a direction or an owning or a wanting for me. It's just a mystery, and that's sing, and that's that's also words and story. Yeah, but it's just,
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with anything. Like, when I was watching non-duality videos, when I first heard this, without a doubt, I thought that me is wrong, and the speakers are saying that, you know, the goal is for there not to be a me, and that's why we're here, and that's why the speaker's talking, so it can help you see that there's no one, or unravel the me, and all of that's a story. It's already what's happening. There is no process. The process is the dream. So if there is a unraveling or a recognition, which is not a recognition, it'll be seen, I'm sorry, that it never happened. It's really like that. It never happened. It doesn't fall away. It does not fall away. It's the absolute that was appearing as a me in here, moving in time and space. That's not happening already. So what can happen for nothing to happen? It doesn't happen. Yeah, it's
Yeah, that's the wild one. It's not even, you know, it's speakers will share, you know, but express it in different ways, and then when it lands on, it's not even happening.
Yeah.
You know, that's really an interesting one.
Yeah.
There's no time, because how could it be happening if it's not, if time is also manufactured in some way or perceived as, right? So it's like a still point. You can't label it.
Yeah.
And it's so that saying it's nothing. That's if the mind's trying to wrap around an understanding of this. That's the killer.
Yeah.
In the end.
Yeah. Yeah. It just gives up. Yeah. It can seem to just give up. You know, and giving up is not an action done by anyone. You know, it's just, it loses steam, loses its momentum, its power. That's a story, but it seems that way in the dream.
The dynamic of a me looking for a no me, or trying to own no me, and see that it's no me, becomes obvious in the light of this, what you're sharing.
Yeah.
But it's not so obvious to the idea of a person that thinks it's going to find a no me.
Yeah, exactly.
Find that it's not there.
Yeah. It doesn't even make sense if you think about it. You know, me finding a no me. What does that mean? What does a no me mean? You know, none of that even makes sense anymore.
Yeah.
You know, there's
No me.
what's longed for is sitting on a chair. That's what's longed for. Like, that's what's deeply desired. It's just that
By
you
what?
you can't know it by nothing.
What's longing for that?
It's just longing. It feels, there's a feeling of being cast out of
But there's
paradise.
not a thing longing
It's
for
not
it.
a thing longing for it. It's just longing. Yeah.
And that's similar to what I've shown. In the dream, something is drawn, like a longing.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a longing because it recognizes in the dream, I'm being redundant, but it ties in
Mm-hmm.
a sense of incompleteness or a
Mm-hmm.
sense of, so it manifests as apparent longing for some
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. And most people, it seems that most people are okay with that. They don't even notice that there's a discontent. It's just like, oh, it's just life and I'm pushing through, for most people. But then when there's certain bodies that are sensitive, and then the story's just not nice. And then you end up here. It just, yeah. It's
It's
just,
amazing how the mystery in the dream is never even questioned.
yeah.
It's just, this is it. This is my life, and I struggle, and
That's just the way it is.
it's so miraculous that this even exists, appears to exist, and it's never just questioned in a dream. It's amazing.
You said the me doesn't fall away, and this is the absolute appearing as a me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't follow, so the absolute just stops appearing as a me.
Yeah.
But that's not a falling away.
That's not a falling away. Yeah.
How is that not
Yeah.
a falling away? It's a stopping, right?
Apparently, yeah. It's well, the stopping is the recognition. I'm sorry, it's not a recognition, but it's obvious, it's clear that there never was a person. That it was nothing appearing, contracting, experiencing being a person. It was the absolute experience. It was the only experience, was that energy claiming to be someone. It was the absolute doing that.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Still sounds like a change, though.
Apparently, yeah, apparently. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
what the me is looking for.
Yeah, see, but it won't
Change.
be there, yeah.
Yeah.
See, that's
Yeah.
that's what's
Yeah,
hiding
it can't
in
ever
a
find it
sense.
'cause
Yeah.
it's not there to find it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a complete paradox in
Mhm.
a sense.
To the mind,
Yeah.
it's a paradox, but it's just simple.
Mhm.
It's sitting in a chair with thoughts and feelings and seeing and sensations. That is absolutely not what me wants. Like, it's not what you want. That's like, there was sadness with when it started becoming really clear, like, wow, this is not what I wanted. It is just life. What's being illuminated is life. Life happening. It's, how do you want what's happening already? It's just the end of that energy that's asking or wanting something else or waiting. That's the only seeming difference. But that energy won't be there to be like, oh, I'm not waiting. Yeah, there's a difference. It's an apparent change. Nothing really changes, and then the appearances, getting a job, going to work, it's just the normal whatever's happening.
It's remarkable. It does feel like it's leading to, like the change is leading to something.
Oh, yeah, in the dream,
and
yeah.
even the apparent characters, it seems like there was a path, and then it got disillusioned with the path.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because of the sequence of events, even though it was disillusioned, that's when that's when it starts speaking like you. It seems like it. And if I get that, it's so remarkable that any timeline in that respect, it's so strong, that conditioning, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's still the same holds. It's still a manufactured story in the play.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. The story is empty. It's an empty appearance. Show me the story. Show me a path. Show me the timeline. Show me yesterday. Show me 5 minutes ago. It's just not there. It's not there.
And there's loopholes even in the dream. That's one.
Loopholes?
Apparent loopholes, like glitches where it doesn't make sense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, show me 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
We're always talking about 5 minutes ago.
Mhm.
And time.
Mhm.
Can't find it.
Yeah.
Even in the dream.
But and also, nothing changes. So me's looking for a change where there will be no 5 minutes ago. Like, 5 minutes ago will disappear,
Yeah.
So that's when I will know that there's no me, when I know there's no time. But no, there's apparent time. We can talk about coming here and when it started and parking the car. Everything's the same, but it's the solidity that's got sucked out of it. It's just obvious that it's just unsubstantial. It's empty.
And yet it still appears to appear.
Yeah. It apparently appears, yeah. It's just, there's no real timeline. Me feels like it's really moving. Like, it's like a straitjacket. I'm just trying to get it right. And heads, where are you going? Where are you going? Where are you gonna go? Where are you gonna go? Like, what's the end goal? Like, what? This is everything. It's fucking boundless. It's spaceless, edgeless, borderless. Isness, aliveness. It just can't be known. Knowing is the dream. The knower is the dream. Knowing hides this as how this is describing it. Knowing seems to hide what I'm saying, seemingly. And no one ever gets that this is aliveness. It will never be an experience. You can't experience all there is. There's no separation. No one can know they're not separate. If there's no separation, how can you know that? If there's not two, how would you know that?
Yeah. Knowing would be an addition,
Mm-hmm.
an add-on.
Yeah.
There has to be a separation to know.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why it's so remarkable on spiritual and non-dual paths. There's always that carrot.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because it roughly reflects this, but then it comes in the form of the carrot that it's
Yeah.
get this.
Yeah.
So it's kind of funny. It's not funny, but it's really,
Yeah.
it's like a bizarro, a bastardized form or bizarro world
Mm-hmm.
of trying to reflect. It's like almost a bastardized reflection of this,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, and like they'll say this is
mirrors,
it.
It kind of mirrors it, but it's still not it.
But yeah, it'll kind of like give you directions or point. It'll say, it's telling you something in a sense, or saying that you can get it, or achieve it, or see it.
And so that underlying current keeps ones on a timeline.
Yeah.
Apparent ones.
Uh-huh.
And an incessant path where they feel like they're close, but they're never quite there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's why you see everyone on the search and all these paths and everything. But yet,
Mm-hmm.
just it's not immediate like
Yeah.
you the
Yeah.
immediacy, the immediacy of seeing is always apparently eluding.
Yeah. Yeah, me wants to land on like, I got it. Like, get it, and then, okay. Now let's rest forever.
Sounds
Yeah, it's seeking
Yeah.
relief.
So bad.
Yeah.
Relief from the dream, if you feel better. Yeah.
The tension of me is just a constant tension, pushing and pulling.
Yeah, push and pull. Yeah. That's the experience.
Attraction.
Yeah. But that is the absolute, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
The pushing and pulling is it. There's-
Appearing as that.
Yeah, there's no need to get rid of the push and pull.
Yeah.
It can become clear to nothing that the pushing and pulling is it. And when that becomes energetically obvious, it can just end. It can just stop. I know it sounds like a process, but it seems to happen that way. It seemed to happen that way here. But that was also, the dream appearance of Zabi being here, pushing and pulling, and then that ending. It's just, it's really irrelevant, because this is that.
But Zabi's life, the body of Zabi, changed significantly,
I was going to say this.
right? I mean, Zabi 1.0 and Zabi 2.0. It's like, how would you say your life changed as far as?
Well, I can say it's not better, because it's the end of better and worse. It's the complete end of that. So there's just the relaxation, I guess. But that's not something that's known. Now talking about it, that's said.
So it's not going to default. I mean, this is a story too. Back to the idea of Zabi, but the point of view that appears to be there kind of feels not restricted like it was before. But it's hard to say because you don't want to. You're going to go back to the idea of Zabi that feels better or more free. I'm not saying that, but it just the experience, the apparent experience from the point of view, without buying into the point of view, it feels like it's, I don't know, it just feels, I don't know, it's tricky to talk about because it always goes back to the person.
Yeah.
But that's what Ben was trying to allude to is 2.0, like it's seen through, but yet there's some kind of apparent experience that appears to move through time, and it appears to feel not restricted at this point. I don't know. It's tough to say that without defaulting back to the dream.
Yeah, and there's just no restriction. There's no longer an experience of being a straitjacket. There's just no more pushing and pulling, but that's not an experience. That was the experience, the pushing and pulling. So the end of that is just not better, but yeah.
I want to say it, but I keep going into a trap. The apparent point of view, it must be happier.
That's what Zabi wanted. He wanted to be happier. He thought that's what this was talking about.
It could fall into I'm happy now.
Yeah. I mean, happiness can appear, sadness can appear. It all, it's just, but this is not about being happy.
Yeah. And to try to maintain any state, that's suffering.
Yeah. That's suffering. It is suffering. Wanting to be happy all the time is suffering.
Right.
Because you can't be happy all the time. If you're happy all the time, how would you know it?
Right.
You need that, happy, unhappy.
Yeah. Duality.
Yeah.
It's a duality.
There we go.
It's kind of like, I'm just rambling. It's kind of like, and it's not true, I get into a trap again. It's kind of like the apparent Zabi is relieved of duty.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, almost like a child, it's like a reset. It might feel like a kind of reset of presence, immediacy.
Yeah. Childlike wonder.
Yeah.
It's just childlike,
That
reverting
seems
to
liberating.
childlike wonder.
That feels so
Innocence.
liberating. If in the dualistic world, it feels so liberating compared to an constricted idea of oneself.
Yeah. Yeah, we call it liberation, but it is kind of misleading, but there's only liberation. There you go, that's better.
Yeah.
There's only liberation. Liberation from the need of wanting to be liberated, or feeling that there is a liberation in the future. That's liberation. The end of feeling like there needs to be someone that gets liberated.
And I don't want to talk for, I keep talking for a person, but the lack, let me just phrase it this way. The lack of resistance, and it's not for a person, the lack of any resistance, like so to speak, not for a person, I'm trying to put, is the liberation, because whatever arises, arises.
Yeah.
So there's no, it's just immediate. I'll use that word again. Immediacy. What I'm trying to say is when there's no resistance, it's just seamless love. Like a kind of
Resistance is love.
liberated. No matter what moves through it, it can feel like anything. But there's no obstacle to the idea of oneself. And I know that's a trap too. To be in the way, it just flows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
Resistance is
Whatever
love.
point is that,
Resistance is love too.
Okay.
It's just, for me, it's just like,
But it's
no, it
still-
doesn't feel like that.
But even resistance flow, it's semantics, if resistance is love and flows. That's why that word falls short. It's not a good word, non-resistance isn't the right word. I don't know how to describe it. Yeah.
There'd have to be something doing
But
that.
I'm trying to describe something, share something.
Yeah.
The flowing of it, it seems really natural, authentic. Doesn't resist itself. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. And that's liberating. It just feels like liberation for no one.
There's a fear that complete vast openness would destroy all sense of humanity, all sense of being a person functioning in a world amongst other individuals with a morality, right and wrong, because there's no good and bad. There's a fear that the body would just let go and do things that weren't socially acceptable. So how does that not happen?
Well, I mean, see, that that body already has nothing in it. Doesn't have a center, doesn't have a Ben Hoffman inside that's functioning and moving around in the world and doing things.
Yeah.
That's the
It
illusion.
seems like that there's a person there who's making choices.
Yeah.
To do right or wrong and function with other people.
There's just an energy that,
Appropriate manner.
yeah. There's an energy that claims what that body does. And the choices that appear, then there's an energy that said, that's me. These are the choices that I do that I've made in my life. I'm this type of person. That's just the extra bit. That body's never had anyone in there. It's never made a choice. Ben Hoffman never made a choice. There's just choices that appeared. And there's ownership of what's happening. That owning energy is what says, well, if I'm not here, what's this body gonna do?
Yeah.
You're already not there. Like, you're already not there making choices. It's just a straitjacket experience on top of what that does. If anything, the body will be just freely doing what it always did. And maybe some things won't happen. Who knows,
Would you say there's a natural morality, though, that arises?
Yeah, but
To act appropriate?
yeah.
Society?
The body
Would
acts
that be
appropriate.
based on conditioning? Or is that
I would say
something that's
conditioning.
innate?
I don't know. I mean, I would say how this acts and talks and with other bodies is conditioning. I feel like it's conditioning.
Which, if there's no time, how does...
Yeah.
This is immediate.
Yeah,
There's no continuity.
Yeah.
How can there be conditioning?
Yeah. See, what happens is that question goes. I have no idea. I don't know the answer. It's just that there's just not a question. There's no real time, there's no real past, but there seems to be conditioning. It's just no one's asking and no one cares. Because this is freedom. This is the absolute appearing. All of it. The question. Everything.
Is there still a sense of empathy, compassion?
Compassion?
Because you don't see others. There's no others to be
No other.
empathize with.
No other is compassion. This is compassion. This is love. Love is nothing. No thing is love. There's only love. Me has a different type of love, like wants to love you and you and you and see separate things, and it feels like, oh, if you don't see a you, that's not loving at all. That's love. Love is nothing. You don't know what love is. No one knows what love is. There's only love.
I sometimes feel love, the word is misleading because it's imply good things.
For me, yeah.
Isn't it
Yeah, it's
completely
tough.
or wholeness? Probably.
Yeah, no, that's right, yeah. No, you're right. It could seem like, a loving, because it's not the me love, it's not the good love, that me thinks. That's not the love, but, because this love is unconditional love. It includes everything, and like the worst thing you can think of, and that's just unacceptable for me. But that's not saying like, oh yeah, I'll say a horrible thing and I'll be like, I love that. No, it's not like that. It's not the me love.
Reminds me of that song, You Lost That Love and Feel. Do you know that? It's an old song.
Mm.
You know that? You lost that
Top Gun.
love. Is that the band?
He's in Top Gun.
Oh.
No, in the movie Top Gun.
Oh.
They're in the bar singing that song.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting that it's obvious there apparently, and all the questions that seem subtle and the curiosities, and even in the most innocent, seemingly pure way, always, it's kind of, when it's noticed in this way, it's kind of funny because the mind can't help coming back to the me with all its questions, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it thinks it's getting there, or it's seeing more subtly, or it's saying the right words, but it always comes back to this idea for me, or what does it mean for me, or how am I going to,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
will I experience, or what does this mean? How can I know this?
Yeah.
You know, I find that interesting, and then sometimes I'm listening, and sometimes it does kind of click,
Mm-hmm.
and all you're seeing is, oh wow, all the questions. It's just coming back to the idea of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's
Yeah.
wrong. It's just seen.
It's just emptiness
Yeah.
appearing as that. Appearing as that experience, as that question.
Right.
There's not a solid entity that asks that. The questions are nothing. They come from nothing. Even logically, what's going to be your next question? You won't know. It just comes up. It just comes up. It's the same. It's the same there, the same here. There just might be an add-on experience like, I know what I'm saying, I know what I'm going to say, and I know why I asked it. That is the dream. No one knows why they're asking these questions. No one knows why they're apparently here. It's clear here that I don't hold these meetings. It just seems to happen.
It's absolutely nothing. It's like knowing nothing, absolutely, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
Even my scenario of seeing where it kind of hits the others, all of a sudden you see it's all alluding to the me. Even that is too much, maybe. I don't know. It's just not even, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And noticing that it's not even, who am I noticing? Right? Who am I noticing doing what? Okay.
You can't say what this is. That's what's being said, is that it can't be said. That there's no object. What this is, it's not an object, and me only knows objects, lives in knowing. So it's exactly what's being said here, but it's, if you listen, that's not, you can't do anything with that.
That's the
You know?
subtlety that I'm sort of sharing. It kind of can, it seems once removed, I don't know why I'm saying it. It's not important to say this, but it's, to your point, you know, we listen to speaker speaks like you, and it lands in a different way. It kind of lands in a different way, you know. It lands. I don't know. Yeah. That didn't make sense at all.
I mean, this doesn't make sense. What's
Yeah.
happening doesn't make
Yeah.
sense.
Trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Loser's game.
Yeah. Me comes up with a story, lives in that story. Me is that story. There is no story. There is no story. There is no real story. There's only immediacy. It's pretend. Pretend play.
Have you noticed? I'm going to default back because it's just fun. And the dream, curiosity, let's call this curiosities within the dream. If we can name it. And it's not like buying in or anything, it's just curiosity. I noticed this, so to speak, right? When I can't do it without defaulting to you, but I'll do it. When there's a clarity, let's say, and there isn't for anyone. I get that, right? Things are noticed all of a sudden that weren't noticed before, like the beauty of nature. You know, all of a sudden, just the natural immediacy, let's put it that way, of everything is here and immediate. So I noticed, like, without the mind in the dream, with its images and its sense of separation and all that, all of a sudden, it's just immediately, there's a beauty in that presence. And all of a sudden, like trees and just this whole gestalt and dynamic, it's just noticed, I think. But noticed isn't a good word, but yeah. Do you notice that?
No.
Appreciate it.
Not even that, yeah.
Not even that.
Not even that.
I would just say it's just aliveness here. Just aliveness.
Like all of a sudden,
Yeah. Just aliveness, isness.
in the dream, a preoccupation will create, you know, a whole world of identity. I can't say we're not strong, but
You know, like for example,
I don't know
tree.
what to say.
Tree's a word, you know, and then me takes that word and makes it into something. There's a thing called a tree, but tree is sound coming from the mouth. It's tree. Can't say what that is.
No, and that's what I mean. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's how we could. Yeah, that's how we communicate. You know, tree.
Yeah, it's a label, but
Yeah.
that I had to share with you.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
trying to share. Like I'm noticing the trees, but not as a tree, but it's just kind of energetically. Let's say there's just some kind of just this that's beautiful, but it appears to seem to be beautiful as the aliveness of the trees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beauty.
I made my point.
There's no sense of a presence, though, right?
Presence. I think presence is misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up, Mark?
Speaking of presence.
It's more like an absence,
Absence. Oh,
emptiness.
absence. Love that word.
Absence.
Absence.
Jim Newman used that. Right?
Love that so much. It's absence. It's not presence. It's absence.
I feel like I told you that.
It's not awakening. It's going to sleep.
Yeah, that's total opposite of
Yeah.
what traditional spirituality
Yeah.
talks about.
Awakening is very misleading. It's so misleading. It's like, I remember here, it felt like that me energy felt like awakening would be something like, you know, like, you know,
And
it's
it's
just,
for somebody.
yeah, it's for
you.
somebody, yeah. there could be a seeming awakening, you know, that's me being like, oh shit, this is not what it seems like, you know, it's not what, you know,
Yeah,
that can
that's what
happen.
happened.
Yeah. That can seem to happen. But yeah, we're not talking about awakening. Going to sleep. But then, you know, all words, going to sleep is like, what does that mean? You know, there's just no awareness. Me is awareness. Me is that. It's so backwards. Spirituality,
Yeah.
talk about awareness. But that's me. That is the experience, being
in the
aware.
moment.
Yeah, being in the moment.
That requires someone, a
Mhm.
being, to be in the moment.
That means there's something else. The
There's
moment,
the
and then
moment.
yeah. This is just too wild. This is fucking wild. What's happening is wild, but not in for me. Not for me. It's
Sounds
just
dangerous.
it is dangerous.
That's the fear.
Yeah.
It can be expressed.
It's too free.
Yeah.
But the expression will never capture it.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely not.
But something's like
Yeah.
extending, you know, something's expressing it.
Mm. Yeah. Seems to.
Yeah, a lot of ways coming to this message is big letdown.
Mm.
You
Yeah,
know?
it's a big letdown for me.
Big letdown.
Yeah. Me is just
disappointment.
yeah. Yeah.
Because you'll never have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'll never get to experience it, appreciate it.
And something hears that and recognizes that you'll never have it. That's what brings you, or you know, the body's just drawn here because it's something recognizes having is not what's longed for. Getting is not, you know, it's just so sick and tired of having, getting, and the
Yeah.
next something recognizes
like
that
a
it's
tight
just
closed fist,
yeah,
grasping,
yeah,
or pushing.
yeah. It just seems to be rare that there's a communication that illuminates that there's nothing to get.
Yeah, how do I get that?
How do you get something to that? That's fine.
Me, you should just stop asking questions. Nothing to get. I should stop seeking. Good luck with that, all right?
The futility is illuminated here.
But
It
even with
becomes-
that,
yeah.
the seeking continues.
That's its function. It's its
Yeah.
job to do that. But what's also being illuminated is that's okay. It doesn't. We're not saying that that should go and then there's a liberation that will happen. That is liberation. That me experience.
Yeah.
It's all inclusive.
Total freedom
Yeah.
for no one.
Yeah. It's fucking wild, bro.
Freedom beyond the concept of free.
The minute you want to do something about something, you're back.
The
back
push.
to- It's the trap. It's like, there's no trap, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I can definitely feel like being trapped, stuck in a loop. Continuous loop of suffering.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just feeding on itself.
There's no one in that experience of suffering. There's no one in that. That doesn't have to end. It can just become clear to nothing that there's no one in that experience. It's okay.
Because there's no one that would ever have it anyway.
A sharing by nothing, for nothing. There's only that. There's only this. There's only what's happening. What's happening is the end of need. There is no need. In a sense, these meetings seem to be like permission. It's like something just wants to continue, and then this is saying it's not needed.
Pull the rug under it. Right? Pull the rug under it.
There's no real process. I know it feels like it, but there's no real process. Process is a part of the dream. It's a part of that timeline, energetic, imagined. It's like it's an energetic, lived feeling of moving, but nothing's actually moving. You know.
It's so strange that even the appearance appears to be.
Mm.
It's just so bizarre.
Mm. We said what that it appears.
I don't even know what this is.
Yeah,
It's just so-
yeah. There's just emptiness appearing. There's no story to
It's
no.
bizarre that even it appears this way. Cars.
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
What is it?
And there's no story to this. It didn't come from anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's new. It's
This is weird. It's too weird.
But even for when you say new, it's still like a comparison.
yeah, words fail. Yeah. It's fresh. There you go. Yeah, this hasn't been before. You know, me lives in, I know I was in this room, 2 months ago, we had a meeting. Me lives in that. That's its life. And it's dissatisfying because it's duality. It's separate. It's itself, it's the room. It's me was in the room. Then 2 months ago, and then 2 months ago is another thing that happened. And then in that happening is trying to make it work and trying to put it in order and blah, 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 blah. Wow.
That's it. That's another loophole in the dream, just for conversation.
Mhm.
Is, there's loopholes. You can see that it doesn't fit together as our minds would like it. So memory, thinking things are the same,
Mhm.
nothing's ever the same
Yeah.
in the dream. And the mind through memory makes it, the same and stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's always immediate, even in the dream. Nothing's the same.
Someone asked for my email. Yeah, Zabi, Zabi 510 @gmail.com. And if anyone wants to text me also, or want to chat, area code 510-461-8589. Yeah, text me. If you call me, I might not answer. I get a lot of spam calls, but I'll call you after I know it's not a spam. Hi, Constance. Freedom is so free, it can appear as a me. If freedom couldn't appear as contraction, as suffering, it wouldn't be free. This boundlessness contracting seemingly into a point. And from that point, from that center, my life begins. Time and space begins. The story begins. Having to make it work begins. And it's always on the move. And it's not satisfied is a dissatisfying experience. Because it can't actually own anything. And somewhere it just neurotically is trying to collect in the hopes of one day it will have enough to fulfill that lack that it senses. It will never have enough. This is empty. It's a bucket with a hole in the bottom and it's trying to fill it. It can't be filled. This is nothing. Insubstantial. Immaterial. This nothingness is what's longed for. There is no need. There's absolutely no need in this. This is not an object. This is nothing. No thing. We're not speaking about something. It's impossible to say it because every word is a part of the appearance. There's not separation. There is no separation. Life is what's looked for. What's happening is what's looked for. This is all there is. This is boundlessness. Freedom. The absolute. Chaos. Hi from Florida. Never been to Florida.
It's my old stomping grounds.
Yeah. Nice.
In Fort Lauderdale, as well as New York. Just putting that out there.
Thanks, Petra. Me is trying to get over knowing by knowing. Knowing is dissatisfying, and it's trying to overcome it by knowing more. That's all it does. It just... But it's not, saying me and me, talking about me. There's no me. There's no real me. It's just energy that appears as that. It's nothing. It's so nothing. It's when it seemed, when it was clear that it never happened, it was like, what the fuck? What was that? Like, what was that about? Like, what was all that? It was so, if it was like the body was hypnotized. It was like what Jim says, what a psychosomatic misunderstanding. It was just, the body was entrenched with need. It was like a straitjacket experience.
Yeah, it's like a powerful drug. It's an overwhelming drug. It takes total control.
It feels like it has control. It feels like it's running
yeah.
the show.
Yeah. The absolute fear of its own demise.
Yeah. It's scared of what can't be known, and this is that.
It's actually insanity, isn't it? Me is insane. An illusion is not even an illusion, but yet it seems to be all powerful.
Yeah.
In the body.
Yeah. The body takes it on. It feels like the body took that role
I like
on.
how David Nassim calls it a fever.
A fever,
It's
me
like a
fever. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like an illness.
Parasite.
Parasite?
Yeah, I like Parasite.
Yeah.
But it makes it seem wrong, though. That's
Yeah,
another thing. But it's...
Yeah, you can call it a fever or an illusion.
Yeah.
Or
Tomatoes probably better.
Tomato, there we go.
Say again?
Tomato.
Tomato?
Yeah.
Tornado.
Oh, tornado. Oh, I was like, yeah, let's just call it a tomato.
You say tomato, I say tomato.
You cannot do anything to it.
Oh, yeah, tornado.
Pizza. I like pizza.
Yeah.
Tornado.
A me tornado.
Yeah, like constantly spinning, right?
Yeah.
Hi, Elizabeth from Mexico. My friend's in Mexico City. My other friend in Michoacan. What'd you say, sorry?
Nothing at the center of the tornado.
Yeah.
It's just spinning around nothing.
Yeah.
And settled by itself.
And yeah, it's settled by itself.
You cannot do
As
anything.
if it never was. leaving a path of destruction in its wake. Devastation.
Seemingly.
No, it just destroys stuff. In the relative world.
Hi, Eliana, New Zealand in the house.
Ileana, hi from Ben.
Ben says hi.
I feel sometimes it's easy to accept like the leg is not a me, the hand is not me.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people they lose their hand or leg,
Yeah.
they can still function.
Yeah.
But when you say there's nobody behind the scene,
Yeah.
it's really scary.
Yeah, there's no one back there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just,
Yeah. That's the
Yeah.
loss of control to me. But what's clear is that there never was. So it's nothing to be afraid of. You know, it's just an add-on to this boundlessness appearance that's just wild, and it's okay, I have some type of grasp on it, you know. But as long as I'm here, I don't have to do anything. As long as I'm just here, there's control. I'm at least sitting in a room, and I know that there's control. That's all. You don't have to do anything else. Me is just here, control. There's none of that. That doesn't. This is permission for it to be okay. There's no need for that, and you can't do nothing about it. You are that experience. If there's a feeling of you, you are that contraction. But that contraction can't do nothing to let go of itself. It is boundlessness being that. You know, and something can hear that. And there could be a release. You know, there's no process, but it seems to be a softening when this is heard on some level, heard somewhere else, not heard, you know, mentally. But it can be energetically sensed, for a lack of a better word. Just. We got 36 people on now. That's more than the last time.
Me here is constantly trying to imagine what it'd be like with no me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
It's just impossible.
yeah, there's no need for that. You'll never know. You know, that's all me does, is try to imagine a no me. You try, it's constantly on the move. It's always trying to just, it has to keep on moving to survive,
Can't sit
apparently.
still. Yeah.
But I have to say, it's a reinforcement of the dream, once again. It seems when the me in the dream sees that there's no me,
Mm-hmm.
it feels good.
Mm.
There's a sense of, there is, you know, it's...
Yeah, even in
it's
the
still
story.
the me there, and then, but the me might have subscribed to the idea of, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, of me in the dream, but when the me in the dream sees that there's no me in the dream,
Yeah. Even conceptually understanding it can still have some type of
what
relief.
the very talking about is alluding to a me, so
Mm-hmm.
it's tricky to say in this context, that kind of thing. Yeah.
You called it ultimate relaxation, the death of the contracted me energy, so the body can finally be relaxed. Yes. Yeah, it's just ultimate relaxation, which no one has. That relaxation is the loss of the experience of being someone. So no one is relaxed. It's just relaxation. But anything can appear in that. You know, whatever arises. There's just no longer anyone saying it's good or bad, it's right or wrong, it should happen or shouldn't happen. That whole trying to put it in order, control, it's just not needed. It's not needed. You know, there is no me. We say me, me. There is no me. There is no one. There just seems to be an energy that claims to be inside the body and looking out and moving through time and space. That is a dream. And that sense of that can cause tension in the body. You know, it can cause a lot of neurotic behavior, but there's nothing wrong with that. What's being illuminated is all of that, the contraction, the neuroticism, the pain, it's all it. It's all this insubstantial nothing. And that can't be known. That can't be known. This has no idea what it's talking about. It's just nothing. It's nothing. No one's saying this. It's just so, you know, there's no need to understand what this is saying. This is not about anything. Something can hear that. Excuse me for saying that, but not that me energy, but something else. Now it sounds woo-woo, but
Mm-hmm.
energy, this can... Alexis called it what? Basking.
Which it
Resonating.
kind of implies that there's something basking.
Yeah. All words, object, something.
There's something to bask. What could be basking?
Yeah. It's just the words that come up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the word dream, you know. Well, what's dreaming?
Nothing.
You know?
The dream and the
Nothing
dreamer
is
is the
dreaming.
same. The dream and the dreamer are one. When the dream ends, when the dreamer ends, like it's just there's no dreamer, no dream. No dream, no dreamer. It's
Same with experience.
yeah.
There's no experiencer.
Yeah. There's no
So
experience.
there's no experience.
Experience is a complete dream. It's not happening. It's already not happening. It doesn't need to end. There is no experience. There's no such thing as experience. It's impossible for there to be experience. That is a dream. Whew. That's not bad news. For if there's an energy of being someone that's listening to these words, it's like, fuck all my experiences and, it's,
Yeah.
no, it's not happening.
I like credentials.
Yeah, all my credentials. It's horrible for that me energy,
All my
but
accomplishments.
it's what's longed for. It's the end of that
Failures.
whole construct, that whole dream. And what's left? This. This is not an object. This is not an object. Was being pointed to, excuse me for the words, because the pointing is it to, so there is no actual pointing, is non-objectifiable. So it's impossible.
You need a thousand arms to point.
Yeah, it's impossible. I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. Right back. Sorry guys, be right back. You guys wanna keep the chat
Jane, you're
company?
up. Jane, take the seat.
I'll do the same.
Amar, you're up.
Instead of taking a seat, she'll go to the bathroom too.
Bathroom break.
Yeah. That's a better option too.
What's up, brother? Guess you couldn't make it.
Oh,
I figured it was ago.
sure.
Was that?
What's that? Sure.
Oh, yeah. If Ted, car trouble.
You live in the area? You travel? I was the only one that would travel, like almost, anywhere. Just flew off of it. Yeah. I'm not far from Berkeley area, so it's.
Yeah, I live in Sacramento area, Rockland, actually. But my dad lives in Hayward. So I'm just visiting 5 minutes up the road. drove in today for that?
Used to driving.
You gonna see Jim Newman?
When's he coming?
He's running the show on that one. October.
Today?
10th, 11th. Or-
Jamie, you gonna be there, Jim Newman?
Yeah.
I don't know because I
One of the ones that
probably
I'm sure they'll be much.
unless somebody.
But yeah.
Like,
Oh, you heal.
yeah, the highway fighter, Russell. Yeah, we used to, because I used to wear the sleeve too hard. So it's kind of like killing.
What is it? Planted?
When Francis, I didn't pronounce that. Yes, I did.
It's just something, it's like
I'm back.
I didn't notice your absence, but
um,
I do notice your presence.
You can take that in.
so, question. Zabi, can you speak to the apparent partial falling away of the me? No more reading books about spirituality or religion, but still watching certain radical non-duality speakers. Oh, so is that what's happening there? Is that so? Can you speak to the apparent partial? So yeah, so it seems, so certain things have fell away. Yeah, that can happen, and there's no energy for that anymore. And then there's just a draw to listen to this. Yeah. That's what seems to happen. That's what happened here, was just the energy to get or to find something just got tired, and there was watching non-duality videos, and something fell in love with it. Fell in love with what can't be known. Fell in love with something it couldn't understand, and then died.
That's an interesting question, a partial
Yeah,
dropping of a me,
yeah,
or seeming to
yeah.
slowly over
Mhm.
time dissipate.
I would call it an unraveling. Yeah, like what's happening there feels like, it seems like.
tornado analogy is very nice. You know,
Yeah,
just thoughts.
the energy peters out slowly but surely, discarding things in its path.
Nothing really led to anything.
Yeah, unraveling's a story also, you know. In the story,
Yeah,
you know,
'cause
there
it
can
makes
be.
it sound like a process.
Yeah. I used to listen to music that loud.
And that must be the old culture.
Yeah.
The local mindset.
Things have changed.
Seemingly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is that the body felt different? Yeah, there could be changes in the body. Yeah. The bodies felt differently. Yeah. Here there was changes here when it was seemingly falling away, but there was no understanding of what was going on. You know, I think Jim even talks about it, like people call him and tell him that something's different, but they didn't do it and they don't know what's going on. You know, that seems to be common. You know, it's clear that no one's doing it. There's just something just feels different. You know. Here there was I don't know what that word is. What does lethargy mean?
Like
Like a giving upness.
laziness,
Yeah.
lethargy, loss of energy.
Lots of it. There's a lot of that here. Just be in bed and you see, that's the story. See, when me hears something like that, it's like, oh, so I haven't lost energy yet. So once I lose energy, and then it means I'm getting closer.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
All the signposts.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I know how close I'm getting?
That's why, you know, speakers don't really want to talk about what seemed to happen because it's just so irrelevant. You know, it's just different for everybody.
Yeah.
You know, it's just.
The me just wants to grasp onto that
Yeah.
and use it
Yeah.
as a pointer
Yeah.
or a marker.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I at in the process?
Because nothing's being said, really. Here. This is talking about nothing. So anything that comes out of this, that what me comes up with questions and then turns this into something. You know, there's questions and then there's responses. And then if there's a sense that non-duality is something or something's happening, that's all a part of the dream. That is dream stuff.
It seems to be reflecting something.
Mm.
The speaker, what you're sharing,
Mm.
even though it's just neither here nor there,
Mm-hmm.
it seems to be reflecting something.
Mm.
It's not.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. That's what I don't know, what the body is doing. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And this is just permission in a sense. Yeah. It's okay. It can be disconcerting. It can be confusing. You know, there's no prescription here. You know, I can't tell anyone what to do or what's really going on. I don't know. But, you know, so I'm not telling anyone anything, but it's a description, yeah. It's just unknowing handing. There's no reason for that hand. It's not coming from anywhere. It's not going anywhere. It's just handing. And it's not nothing appearing as a hand. This is nothing. And saying that is misleading, sitting up here and saying this is nothing. You know, if there's an experience of being someone located in the body, it automatically projects that there's someone here who's experiencing a hand being nothing. It's just not like that. It's just unknowing handing.
So everything I've shared is piercing through the idea of time. It's just immediacy.
Yeah, it's just immediacy.
Nothing is known, it's just immediacy.
Yeah, that's it. Immediacy. That's what's being pointed to. Yeah, but immediacy. Immediacy is the death of you. There's no you in immediacy. There's no room for you in this. No, every time I sit here, I have no idea what I'm going to talk about. Because we're not talking about anything. Sometimes it's just kind of baffled by what comes out, you know, like, oh shit. It's cool. No practicing, no preparation.
You come here to see you just like we come here to see you.
That energy of feeling like someone is absolutely certain, without a doubt, that something has to change. Nothing has to change. That's the release that nothing has to change.
Does the word stillness kind of capture it?
Stillness.
Not for anyone, you know, just still. The sense of stillness. Just keep. That seems, because there's no movement in that, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not important. It's just,
It's amazing how there can be so many questions when you're away from meetings, then you show up for a meeting and the questions just dissolve.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah. But then
Yeah.
there's like a anxiety, like I wish I had questions.
Yeah.
Or worry that when the meeting's over, I'm gonna have all these questions
Yeah.
that are gonna come flooding back.
Yeah.
But where are they now?
Yeah. Yeah, me feels like the question has to be answered.
I used to write down questions before going to meetings, you know.
Yeah.
make a list.
Yeah.
And when I would read them off, it wouldn't, the questions wouldn't resonate with me anymore, you know.
Yeah.
Like, why am I even asking this?
Yeah.
it used to bother me when people would come to gatherings and someone would be like writing down everything,
Mhm.
studying it. And
I gotta take notes for Zabi. Put it on my wall. All my post-it notes.
These.
Key phrases to memorize. This kills all of that.
Non-dual affirmations.
Hmm. These meetings are
I guess
refreshing.
that's all, isn't it? Non-dual affirmation. Oxymoron. If I could only hold on to the right concept, get it,
What will you get?
or ask the right question. Relief.
Really?
Relief from the constant anxiety and tension of me.
Yeah, it wants relief from getting by getting.
Yeah.
It's
It
a
definitely
circle.
doesn't want losing.
Yeah. Yeah. It just wants to continue, even if it doesn't have to be a better experience. It's, as long as it continues, it's satisfied with satisfaction, dissatisfaction, satisfaction, dissatisfaction. It wants that. But then there is a longing for the end of that. And then you find yourself here, apparently. Well,
Do you think we can describe this is like a screen, like a
What
3D
screen?
screen, and then just things appearing?
I wouldn't call it, no.
Why not?
Because that still kind of seems like a screen and then something appearing in the screen, you know? Like,
But since we cannot describe what it is, would this be a good analogy?
I wouldn't say screen.
You said screen?
Yeah, like a 3D,
Like a movie screen?
like a 3D movies.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
That's 3D.
yeah. Because you keep on saying nothing changed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just appearing.
Just appearing, yeah. But it's not appearing like in something, like in a screen. It's just like, this is the appearance. You know, it's not coming from somewhere, so it can't be like a screen and then there's that's how me understands. You know, that's understanding. So what's being talked about can't be understood. It can't be imagined because every imagination and those words and what you described is it. That's what's longed for. It's exactly that question. Exactly that curiosity of wanting to know if you can say 3D screen. That's what's longed for, not the answer. It's the question itself. It's amazing. It's amazing. This is what's longed for. And then all the questions are, how do I find what's longed for? It's this. It's just, it can't be known. That's the dilemma. And that's what gets illuminated here is there's a dilemma of wanting to know something that can't be known. That's it. You know, that is very simple, actually. That's very simple. Like what he said. Okay, I like what he said. I used to write the questions down. Then in the meeting, the question I was asking wouldn't resonate with me anymore. That was Court from Australia. What's up, Court?
I don't think any analogies work to
Mm-mm.
describe this, you know? None.
Because it's all a part of the appearance. Anything that's said is the appearance.
I used to love analogies, you know, because they help feeling of understanding.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like that. Oh, okay, I get
Mhm.
it. It feeds that need to understand.
Yeah.
But they're all empty,
Yeah.
meaningless.
Yeah.
It's like
Damn, can't even have that.
Yeah.
metaphors come up. He used one earlier with the bucket and
Yeah. Empty
Oh,
bucket.
yeah.
Hole in the bottom.
you know.
How does belief play into this? Does Zabi still have things that you believe in?
Like, give me an example.
Well, I know you wouldn't say, yeah, I believe in God, or I don't believe in God. Just any kind of belief at all. I don't know. What am I trying to say? Because there's a concern that beliefs are somehow an obstacle.
No, nothing's an obstacle.
Yeah. That I need to abandon my beliefs or eliminate beliefs.
Mm-mm. Nothing's an obstacle.
beliefs can be so subtle and unconscious, you know,
Mhm.
subconscious. You don't even realize they're there. Layers and layers of belief.
Because it's you,
Yeah.
you know, so.
The belief that I exist, you know,
Yeah,
that I am, or that
Yeah.
this is even happening.
yeah,
Anything at all is happening.
yeah,
Even the idea that everything is consciousness.
Mhm.
yeah,
It's a belief.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or this is God experiencing himself through us.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, see, me wants to be special, you know, that's special right there.
Well, Alan Watts, you know, used to say that humanity were apertures in which God experiences himself, or his creation. Humans are apertures, you know, they're like lenses, or bodies to experience the creation,
Yeah,
you know.
I would rather say it's nothing seeing than God seeing. That can be very misleading.
Yeah, when you use the word God, it opens up so many potential ideas, stories.
But this is that, you know,
Mhm.
it is that. The absolute. Hello, Barcelona. What a Corey. Distance is attention. Just that the real lived sense that I'm here and
Mhm.
you're there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's still an appearance of however many feet apart we are, you know.
Mhm.
Nothing changes. But that lived feeling, that uncomfortable feeling of distance is a tension in the body. It's a contraction. Here was like a, yeah. That's all it is.
As
Not
is time.
yeah, yeah. Me's like a platform, an energetic platform, and it like rest on. You know, it's not real. It's not substantial. It just feels like that to that experience itself, and then the body would report or say, "Yeah, I'm me," you know, because that experience seems to be happening. That's why I said it's hypnotized. It's not really, but it seemed like it was hypnotized. You know, you can't escape what's happening. You know, there's no way out. There's no one's in. There
There's
doesn't
no
need to
one
be.
in it.
Yeah.
To need escape.
Yeah. Yeah. Zabi wanted to escape the human condition.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it felt like this was a way out listening to Non-Duality. Ah, I'm everything. I'm the absolute. I don't have to die then.
You fully accepted non-duality, and now you're free.
I wanted that to happen.
Have you accepted non-duality as your personal Lord and Savior?
Oh man.
You know, I've been having this conversation with my dad forever. You know, he totally believes that this is a philosophy and a belief,
Mm-hmm.
and a process, and a
Yeah, me
path.
has to. When there's no openness available, that's, of course.
Right.
Of course you're gonna feel like it's a philosophy or a belief or a new way of living or thinking. You know, my friend says this, you know, oh, the way you think, Zabi, you know, you think different now. I'm like, no, it's just, yeah, it just can't be described.
Zabi died. Which sounds frightening.
Yeah. Oh, Zabi was a drama queen. There seemed to be it was so dramatic. Like, I'm dying.
Now you're laughing at
Yeah.
the suffering you endured. Remember that?
It was apparent suffering. It wasn't, had by anyone. Like we were saying earlier.
It sure seemed real at the time, huh?
Yeah.
To itself.
Yeah. Yeah.
No joke.
It was darkness.
No joke at all, huh?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, that's the thing. There can be such intense suffering.
Yeah.
Unbearable.
Yeah.
Horror.
Yeah.
And a desire to escape.
Yeah.
All that.
Of course. It's all innocent.
And it's all just only real to itself.
Yeah.
And it's not even there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
How do I get out of this dream?
You are the dream.
Wake up.
When the dream ends, no one wakes up.
There's got to be something, Zabi. For this appearance to appear, there has to be something, some energy or something.
Nothing is something. Something is nothing. It's not two.
How can this appearance appear out of nothing?
It is nothing. There's no...
It's a very busy nothing.
There's nothing
Very active.
happening.
And vibrant, alive,
Mm-hmm.
colorful.
Yeah. Light.
Musical.
There's light. This is light. All there is light. Me was the experience of darkness. There was no light available. That's what it seemed like. Self-consciousness is the dream. It is that experience.
Consciousness is the dream.
Yeah. I mean, this is childlike wonder. It's just children. Children. There's no adults here. It's just children. It's bodies, Look at a little child playing with a fucking rock on the ground, There's hand, there's words, there's this childlike wonder, It's just innocence. It's all innocent. I remember looking in the mirror when I was like 4. And it's like one of my first memories, I feel like, and it was just like, that's me. Like me. And walking down the stairs, and All my mom and my aunties are just like, oh, look, he's coming down. And then I remember being like, oh, no, 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 no. I was like, no, 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 no. I remember just like, don't look at me, don't say that.
The self-consciousness
Yeah.
became overwhelming.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's when it all began. The whole drama.
Yeah. See, the story's apparent for me, like that's a real memory that really happened, and somewhere else, a place called the past. It's not like that. It was fresh and new. What came up and then expressed, it was fresh and new. Not in a past. This appears as a past, a memory as a past. You know, there's not actually a place somewhere else or a future somewhere else. This is all of it.
In a weird way, we're conjuring up a timeline.
Mm-hmm.
This is still in the dream. In each moment, it's like being recreated,
Mm-hmm.
as if you were a young Zabi looking in the mirror.
Yeah. This is the beginning and the end.
Because how does it exist without the thought of it?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, in the dream, right? Yeah. I kind of remember. in the
Hi,
dream-
V. Oh, sorry.
I kind of remember in the dream the first sense of separation. I
Mhm.
don't know how many people do. Like the first time you really notice that there's something out there, me and out there. Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Zabi just said about
Yeah.
coming down the stairs.
Yeah.
Suddenly looking in the mirror.
All of a sudden it feels different,
Uh,
separate.
yeah, like all of a sudden you're here. All of a sudden it's like what?
Mm.
Yeah. Or
But that-
distant. My experience is it's just you don't know, and you know, a child or whatever in the dream. It's
Mhm.
just present. But then all of a sudden it was like here and out there, and I remember like,
Yep.
the instant of that. All of a sudden something felt, and it was like a Mr. Softy ice cream
Mhm.
thing. And all of a sudden, it's hard to describe. The whole just all felt different. Like I don't know, like a separation. Like
Mhm.
that's out there, and this is here.
And it all
That was the one.
snowballed from there.
Yeah, it's true.
Like what's being shared or expressed is completely unacceptable. Like it just can't be accepted. It's impossible to accept it.
Yeah,
1 minute. Nothing needs to happen for this to be home. No one needs to arrive home. No one's left home. All there is home. This is what's deeply desired. Nothing needs to happen. Nothing needs to change. Nothing is really happening. And everything that was said today does not need to be remembered, thought about. Nothing needs to happen. Whatever's happening, any thought, any sensation, any feeling, it's what's longed for. That's just what's being illuminated. Whatever comes up is what's longed for. If it's an experience of a timeline, that is it. There is nothing that's apart from this. There is no separation. There is only wholeness. This is that. Right. Thank you guys.
Thanks, Zabi, for nothing.
Yeah.
Again.
All right, guys, on the Zoom or the YouTube. Bye-bye.